Hey church, I hope you're doing well. I'm Kelly Carlson, and today's great verse is Hebrews 2:18. It says, "Because he himself suffered when he was tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted." How many of you have been tempted? Well, if you're human, you've been tempted, and we will be tempted in this life. And Hebrews 2 is talking and highlighting the fact that Jesus was fully human, fully God and fully human. And the reason being is explained in verse 17. So let's read it. "For this reason, he had to be made like them, fully human in every way, in order that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in service to God, and that he might make atonement for the sins of his people." He literally became human so he can be like us in every way. He's been tempted in every way, but he hasn't sinned. So he can make an atonement for our sin and set us free. So here it says, he is able to help those who are being tempted. He is the merciful and faithful high priest. He is interceding for you. He is advocating for you. He is wanting you to choose the life of the spirit, not the life of the flesh, which is death. And he's saying, hey, I have a way out for you. I have an avenue for you to live into the fullness of what I've called you to. And it's not just not sinning. It is the freedom that we crave. And so all temptations are an allusion to a freedom, to a joy, to a hope, to a comfort that we crave. There are multitudes of temptations. We, quote unquote, have big ones, whether it's sexuality, sexual immorality, whether it's greed, whether it's lust, whether it's coveting, whether it's adultery, whether it's gossip, slander. There's big ones that we know, but the subtle ones are also escapism, numbing, distraction, whether it's TV or shopping or social media, or just the busyness of life. There's temptations in all ways that the enemy will use to distract us from not living into the fullness of what God has for us. And that fullness is freedom. That fullness is life. And the temptation is to always take the shortcut, is to take things into our own hands and not trust that God will have the best for us. And so I pray that this would just encourage you to show you that Jesus has endured all these things and he is right there with you. You don't have to do it alone, and he has a better alternative for you. But when we choose to resist temptation, it is dying to our fleshly selves, but we actually receive the craving that we desire, which is the freedom, which is the joy, which is the hope. And the best way to fight against temptation is in praising, is in praying, and is in thanksgiving. And so I pray that today that you would take up one of those mantles of praying, praising, or thanksgiving to fight against that temptation, to make yourself aware of what is tempting you to choose your own way versus God's way. And just surrender it to God. Surrender it to Jesus. He is interceding for you. So I pray that this is an encouragement to you, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you are empowered and Jesus is with you every step of the way, and he's giving you the Holy Spirit to choose the one thing that you really want. All temptations are an illusion. So I pray that you know that you are deeply loved, that Jesus is with you through every moment. God bless you, church.